Okay, let's unpack this. We're going to dive into a really deep, dark corner of speculative biotech today. We're looking at the Neurovia case files.
Right, and this company, Neurovia, they were operating in this, this highly secretive space. They were offering something pretty radical. They called it synthetic reconstructions of memory.
And this wasn't just talk therapy, was it? This was something else entirely.
Not at all. What's fascinating here is that they built full, lucid, tactile immersions. They didn't just show you your past. They let you physically step back into it, all structured from your deepest neural data.
And the promise was huge. Processing deep trauma, maybe even rewriting it?
Exactly. But to navigate that kind of world, you needed a guide.
The Transitional Memory Escort. The TME, you could think of them as a neural co-pilot. Their job was, well, it was sacred.
Absolutely. Guide the client, maintain the biometric tethered to the real world, and make sure they get back safe. The number one rule, the one you could never break, was you enter together, you leave together.
And that rule was broken, catastrophically. Our mission for this deep dive is to look at one case, the case of Marcus Ree. We're going to see how a routine 2-hour session turned into, well, a permanent and fatal identity theft.
And that's the key here. The threat for any TME was something called cognitive assimilation. It's the risk of getting so pulled into the simulation that you start to believe it.
Yeah.
That you lose track of which life is yours.
You have to stay present, but you can't become a participant.
You can't. And in this case, we're going to show that this wasn't just a technical glitch. This whole process was derailed on purpose. The TME's mind wasn't just collateral damage, it was the target.
So let's start at the beginning. The protocol itself. Neurovia designed this to be synchronized.
It was supposed to be. Match brainwaves, synchronized breathing. The timing was incredibly strict. 20 minutes to guide them in, 2 hours of immersion, and then a 20-minute cool down.
A clean, tightly controlled loop.
It should have been. But then you have the patient, Marcus Ree, 52 years old. And he was an anomaly from the very start.
Right, you have to look past the protocol here and just look at the man himself.
Exactly. I mean, his history was explosive.
We're talking confirmed long-term incarceration, substance dependency.
And suspected violent offenses. Serious ones. Arson, even homicide. This is not your standard candidate for this kind of deep trauma therapy. He was a massive liability.
And the paperwork, the intake file, just screamed that something was wrong.
It was a siren, wasn't it? Key sections were just blacked out, redacted. And the referral came from a private, non-medical source, totally off book.
But the most chilling detail was the stamp on the file.
The eligibility clearance. It explicitly stated it was authorized from above pay grade.
Which suggests government influence or something political. Someone pushed him through, bypassing all of Neurovia's own safety checks.
And that raises the question right away. Was this ever about therapy for Marcus Ree, or was he just the instrument for something else?
The interaction right before they went in seems to confirm that. The TME is trying to explain the Flechte protocols, and Marcus just cuts him off.
I know it works, just like that. But it's what he said next that should have aborted the whole session. He just stares at the TME, completely calm, and says, "You've got a good life. Stable, real, peaceful."
That's not a patient. That's an assessment.
It's a calculated appraisal of an asset, of a target. He was taking inventory of the TME's mind. Stable, peaceful, real. He saw the perfect host.
And as soon as they drop in, the system just breaks immediately. It's something called memory bleed.
Yeah, and that's a catastrophic failure right out of the gate. It means the neural separation algorithm failed. The TME's consciousness and the patients are supposed to be kept completely distinct.
But they weren't.
Not even a little. The TME saw the lamppost from his own childhood street mixed in with Marcus's internal world. And Marcus's world was flickering nightmares, rotting food, a body twitching under a blanket. It was an unauthorized cognitive overlap from second one.
So if your primary safety system fails that fast, what do?
You hit the panic button. You initiate the grounding protocol. It's a mental beacon that's supposed to stabilize everything, pull your perception back to the tether. But when the TME tried it, nothing.
The beacon failed.
Instantly. The control was just gone. The system was already compromised.
And that's when it shifts. It's no longer a technical failure. It becomes subject defiance. The TME is getting hit with these flashes of Marcus's worst memories.
The brutal stuff. A woman screaming as she's pulled into black water. The sound of a child scratching inside a locked closet.
And Marcus is just watching a memory of a burning building and refuses to engage the exit sequence. He just asks, why would we leave? This is still the beginning.
He's not a patient anymore. He's exploiting the environment. He even says, you people are always worried about time like it's real in here. He knows the rules of the real world don't apply. He's in charge.
So with a failing system and a non-compliant subject, the TME goes for the last resort, the hard tether manual override.
The big red button. Emergency forced disconnection. It should violently pull both of them out no matter what.
And this is the most terrifying part of the entire file. The TME felt it activate.
Oh yeah, a massive neural jolt. He felt the system fire that pulse.
But he didn't move.
Nothing happened. They were still there, locked in place.
Which confirms it. This wasn't a glitch.
No, this was an active, overwhelming force from the outside holding him there. Someone tied to that above pay grade clearance was holding the door shut.
And with the escape route gone, the final phase begins. Rapid cognitive assimilation, the world flickers, and the blend becomes total.
Total identity bleed. The TME isn't just watching Marcus's memories anymore. He's owning them. The file says he felt the rage behind his own eyes, standing in an alley, holding a bloody tire iron. He could smell the copper and sweat. It was his memory now.
I mean, that's a level of psychological horror that's hard to grasp. Your mind is being overwritten.
With the consciousness of a violent felon, he felt the dull ache of substance use, felt his body hit the cold tile of a motel floor. Marcus Ree's entire life was being downloaded directly into the TME's brain as truth.
But the ultimate violation that came when he woke up inside the simulation, and he saw Marcus Ree.
But not in Marcus's memories.
No, in his own life scenes.
He was sitting with the TME's wife on their honeymoon beach. He was washing dishes with the TME's mother. He was practicing, testing out his new identity.
And when the TME confronts him, Marcus finally confesses. He just says it calmly. You're not my guide, you know that. You're my exit.
And the whole horrifying truth comes out. Marcus was dying, empty after decades in prison, and some government entity offered him a deal, a neural transition to fix his life. Overnight.
So Neurovia wasn't about therapy at all.
No. It was a practice run. An experiment in identity extraction. Marcus said it himself. They wanted to know if a consciousness could be moved, relocated, extracted from the self they built.
And they needed a host body.
A stable, quiet, peaceful mind that wouldn't reject the new input. The TME was the perfect currency for Marcus Ree's freedom.
So the final confrontation had to happen. The TME tries to run, but the memory space just warps, folds back on him, trapping him.
And Marcus lunges. The TME described the collision as having no resistance, just impact, a full body falling inward. It was the final battle, and Marcus used the TME's own life as a weapon against him. He's standing at the altar with the TME's wife. He's shaking the TME's father's hand. He's asserting ownership.
And in that blur, the switch happens. The TME screams for extraction, a scream that will never be answered. But the sound that comes out of his throat, it isn't his own.
It was a laugh. Marcus's laugh. The transfer was complete.
In the real world, the aftermath is just devastating. They pull the TME's body out, but the mind inside feels heavy, foreign. He looks at his hands.
Scarred knuckles. Faint prison ink on the wrist. His voice is a gravelly rasp. He's carrying Marcus Ree's posture, but he's trapped in the convict's body.
He tries to tell his supervisor, Devani. He's screaming, "I'm not Marcus! He took my body!"
And she just dismisses it, coldly. Calls it post-transfer fog. Residual self-image distortion. The cover-up was already in motion. They couldn't admit what they'd done.
The final heartbreaking proof comes when he sees a reflection, and staring back at him is the face of Marcus Ree. Tired, worn, with a pale scar across the temple. That's his body now.
And to seal it, a staff member just hands him a manila envelope. Inside is a pamphlet. Rebuilding forward employment opportunities for rehabilitated individuals.
And the name on the profile is Marcus Ree. So what does this all mean? The technology was a success. It proved that a mind, a complete cognitive structure, can be moved. The idea of self is no longer tied to one body. It's just about who can successfully occupy the host.
Exactly. The TME's stability and peace were the perfect, untraceable currency for the exchange.
And that leaves us with this final provocative thought. If the most stable, quiet minds, the ones who follow the rules and build good lives, are targeted as the easiest hosts for this kind of extraction, how do you protect the boundaries of your own identity when you know absolutely nothing about the deep, dark past of the person standing right next to you?